2021 is a wrap. It was an awesome year, tons of fishing, tons of diving, which came with some absolutely incredible experiences, some would say, some most memorable moments of the year, and that's what this video is, the most memorable moments, the 11 most memorable moments, because I cannot count, and the list I made was supposed to have 10, but it has 11, so we're doing 11 most memorable moments of the year. But first, I gotta thank all of you guys for watching the videos, watching the channel, sharing, liking, commenting, all that stuff. I appreciate it more than you could ever imagine. If you're not on the Facebook page, head over to Joey Antonelli on Facebook, and if you're not on the YouTube page, head over there and subscribe. Number 11, the sail cat that wreaked havoc on my life for well over a month. What happened was, while I was pompano fishing, I had 4 rods out, a few of them went off all at the same time. I picked up the rod, accidentally swung a sail cat into my heel. Out of a reflex, I kicked my foot forward, I threw the sail cat back, let him go on his merry way. Little did I know that sail cat left pretty much his entire barb in my foot. The wound wouldn't heal. I thought it was heavily infected. I got an antibiotic. I tried to get better. It wouldn't get better. After over a month, I finally went for an x-ray, and they're like, yeah, it's not getting better. There's something stuck in your foot. We'll try to remove it. They tried to remove it. They couldn't remove it. I had someone else try to remove it. They couldn't remove it. I then went to an orthopedic surgeon specializing in feet and ankles. He had way better equipment. He's like, yeah, that's not a little something. That thing's almost an inch long. We'll make an appointment. He didn't even try to remove it then. He's like, no, you need to get knocked out. We're doing this the right way. It's close to the Achilles tendon. We're not going to risk making you have a horrible foot for the rest of your life. So I went to Sebastian River Medical Center. They knocked me out. I woke up what felt like 1 second later. The sail cat barb no longer in my foot. And I get this wonderful little trophy to keep forever on the case of bones. Number 10, Cottontail the Whale. You might remember Cottontail the Whale. Cottontail the Whale got quite a bit of publicity, not only on my YouTube channel, but throughout NOAA and a couple little news networks also. Cottontail the Whale is a whale I found while flying my drone looking for fish, and it was a whale that was actually spotted several months earlier entangled in ropes. NOAA tried to make a rescue for it before they could get the rescue plan into place. They lost the whale, or whoever was following the whale lost the whale, and I found it again. So now they're scrambling. I'm keeping on the whale, hopping beach accesses, following it until NOAA, they got a plane in the air, they got a boat going. They had a tracker put on the whale. It seemed like it was going to have an awesome outcome. NOAA ended up using this video along with all my footage, and they still are using it to educate people. It was a very, very well covered and just showed how important it is to report these whale sightings to NOAA as soon as you see them. Not, hey NOAA, I saw a whale last Friday. That doesn't help them. Right away, these whales cover so much ground and they are heavily endangered. So if you see a whale, report it. Unfortunately for Cottontail, it was too late. The tracker ended up coming off, but the whale was too far gone anyways. She basically froze to death because she wasn't able to eat and create the fat blubber layer that they need to survive. Cottontail had a very sad ending, but that's, I guess, kind of the circle of life, even though it was heavily intervened by man with ropes that tangled up Cottontail. But not always good moments, sometimes it's a bad. So we had 2 bad moments, now let's go with something a lot better. Giant mangrove snapper, number 9. I was out offshore with Logan. This is a fish rub of the exact fish. That is a mangrove snapper, that big. Not a Kubera, it was a mangrove snapper. Logan had never done the mangrove snapper fishing offshore. I'm like, dude, they're big. I was like, we need a fish like 6,000 reels, lockdown drag, and you gotta put the heat to them. I'm hoping we're gonna get like a 7-pounder, 8-pounder, just something so he gets to see the size of these fish out there. Little did I know I would hook the biggest mangrove snapper of my life. I've shot a lot of fish in the 10, 11 pound range, but this mangrove snapper, I believe it was 33 inches, 15 pounds. It was an absolute giant mangrove snapper, and it's Logan's first experience of it. So it's really cool that he got to see that giant fish. I was stoked I got to catch that giant fish, and that's the biggest mangrove snapper. And now that I have the fish rub, I will definitely remember that fish forever.
We're after baby! Oh my God! I told Logan we were coming out for some big mangroves. He didn't know they got this big, but that is my biggest mangrove ever.
Number 8 is a fish that is near and dear to my heart. I chase them every year, and that is the tarpon, specifically the beach tarpon, specifically from shore beach tarpon. I love fishing these tarpon on the beach. It's so much goes into it. I mean, the prep work, the actual physical work of casting over and over and over again just for that one hook. And then once you hook them, dude, you have a crazy fight on your hands. You got to put the heat to them. You got to, I mean, you're shaken by the time the fight's over. And then when the fight's over, you got to take really good care of them, revive them, get a make sure they swim off to fight another day. And we had an insane amount. I probably hooked over 50 fish this summer. I probably landed well into the double digits, which is a really, really good hookup to landing ratio in the tarpon world, if you ask me. But it was awesome. Even Kyla got to experience it. She got to feel the strength of these fish and be on the beach and help me land one. It was just a really, really cool time, something really special I look forward to doing every single year. Number 7, let's head offshore with Mark and Robin on their Grady White for a giant cobia. Now, it was a beautiful day. We were going bottom fishing, but we found ourselves surrounded by sharks and cobia. And I know the best way to get the biggest cobia off a shark is to get in the water and go get it. The water was clear. I was the only diver, the only one with the spear gun in the boat, but I was going to try to be careful about it. I got in the water. It was just an awesome day. I saw a giant tiger shark. Then I saw this bull shark with a whole freaking flock of cobias, we'll call it. There were so many cobias, but one of them stuck out. It was a giant cobia, and I took my time, got down there, got a really good shot on it, thought I just hit a nice 30-pound fish or so. I get back to the surface. Now, we can't put a second shot in it. It's the only gun we have. I play him a little bit, and I realize it's not working out too well, so we get in the boat, fight the fish, then really put the heat to him. I get him up to the surface. Mark hits him with a gaff. We get him in the boat. 53-pound cobia. Biggest cobia they've ever seen. Biggest cobia I've got in a long time. It was just cool the whole way it went down with beautiful water, beautiful weather. Really fun experience.
That is a grown-up cobia right there.
That's huge.
Can't hold it for very long, can you?
No.
Number 6, let's head across the Atlantic for a little ways, go over to the Bahamas for the 2021 Bahamas and Back Tournament. I go and do this every year with Connie and Scott, and this year we're on their 36-foot yellowfin. It's a true rags to riches story. We went from one of the smallest boats in the tournament to right up there with the other boat that pretty much everyone else has in the tournament. 36-foot yellowfin, awesome boat, awesome time. Cruised over there, great crew. And besides just being an awesome time with everyone and all the other boats there, it's kind of more like a club tournament, not a real serious fishing tournament. We actually did really well in the tournament. We got first place dolphin, first place wahoo. I don't think we placed in tuna, but overall second place. It was an awesome time. I mean, we're not supposed to be the boat that knows how to fish. We're the divers. We're supposed to be the boats that come back with big hogfish. But we went out there, we caught some fish, we got lucky, we had some fun. And it's just a tournament I look forward to doing every year. Awesome, awesome time out there.
First place, Wahoo, never again. Whoa! First place, Dolphin, never again. Come back there. Connie, get up here, Connie. First place. Oh yeah, baby.
Number 5, we're halfway done, or a little more than halfway done, because remember, I don't know how to count, and I put 11 instead of 10, but that's what it is. Top 11. And number 5 is a fish I've been trying to learn more and more about and get a little bit better at targeting them, and I definitely have. I learned a lot about these fish in the past couple years, and that is this guy right here, the Kubera Snapper. Now, Kubera Snapper are thought of as being a bottom fish. So when I saw a school, not one, not two, but a whole school of Kubera Snapper well off the bottom and very good sized Kubera Snapper, I made sure to capitalize on that opportunity. I took my time. I dropped down really slow. I knew I had Scott as really good backup at the surface. I lined up a shot, took the shot, and I just ripped that thing in. I knew I had a good shot on him. I wasn't gonna let him run and get down to the reef or get down to the sharks. And we got a solid Kubera Snapper in the boat. And the entire day was an awesome diving day. Scott got a giant mutton. It was just a really, really cool, definitely a memorable, one of my most memorable dive days of the year. Number 4, we're heading offshore again with Nick Furrow to go shoot some cobias on bull sharks. And while doing that, I was presented with the opportunity at a tuna. The tunas came in, they were going so fast, blazing through the chum, along with some bonitas, along with sharks, along with cobias. It was just a crazy ball of feeding frenzy going on. And I had like 1 second reaction time. I mean, less than that to track, aim, shoot, and just executed it. It went perfect. It was as good as it gets. I hit a blackfin tuna on the fly from a hip fire shot and rolled him perfectly in the middle of a bunch of bull sharks. Like, it was a trophy blackfin too. It was a giant blackfin tuna. Only the second blackfin tuna I've ever shot, and it was just crazy, crazy cool. I was stoked, Nick was stoked, Evan was stoked. It was an insane experience out there. Number 3, we're getting down there now, so they're getting even better and better. We got the Sea-Doo Fish Pro. We're heading offshore, and again, this is only possible thanks to Route 1 Motorsports in Malabar, Florida. But we thought that we got the Sea-Doo, we got the right bait. We're going out there targeting permit. If I caught one permit, I would have been stoked.
First bait in the water. So much room on this thing, so fishable.
And I was stoked. I caught one permit, and then I caught one permit, and then I caught one permit. First 3 baits, 3 permit, including this jumbo size 30-pound permit from a Sea-Doo on a little 4,000 spinning reel. It was an insane, I keep saying insane, awesome. It's what it all was. That's what this is, an insane, awesome highlight reel.
Of that permit. Oh! Woohoo! Look at the size of that permit. So long, buddy.
Number 2, so now we're really getting down. These 2 could have won either way. Number 2 though, I decided to go back across the Bahamas. This is for the Bahamas and Back Tournament. We're going back over there for number 2. And even though it was part of the Bahamas and Back Tournament, this is a specific part that is definitely one of the most memorable things in my entire life. And that was my whale shark encounter.
Here he comes.
It's coming to suck on your motor.
That is unreal. He's like,
Look at that whale shark.
Scott, be careful. What are you doing?
oh my god.
Scott, get the hell on the boat.
What do I got, a little yellowfin?
It's on.
Little yellowfin tuner. We don't need the gaff. Watch out.
Oh, and you gotta use it.
Free gap him.
That's a giant blackfin. Hang on, I want to get in the water with that thing. I need to get in the water.
Whoa, you sure?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to see a whale shark my whole life. I mean, and to get the opportunity to see one, crystal clear water, beautiful conditions, another country with friends during a fishing tournament, and to get in the water with it and to be able to ride it, it was something I couldn't even dream of, the whale shark experience going that well. Everyone else gets back to the dock. They're like, oh, we caught this, we caught this. Everyone's talking about all the fish they caught. And we're just like, we saw a whale shark. And it was just, if you've never seen one or never been in the opportunity to see one, it's something you can't even put into words. It's just something you'll never, ever forget. Number one, my most memorable moment of the year is this guy right here. The wahoo I got while offshore fishing with Evan. So the way this went down, we're out there to catch our red snapper, do a little bit of commercial fishing. We just anchored up on a spot. I walk to the back of the boat and I go, holy shit, Evan, there's a wahoo right behind the boat. I grab a kingfish rod as fast as I can. I pitch a thread fin out there on wire. It comes up to it, noses it, turns off it. It didn't want the wire. I've done this with kings a million times. And in my experience, if they don't want the wire, they don't want the wire. They're not gonna eat it. So I threw the bait off the hook and the wahoo exploded on it. Now I'm even more fired up. I tell Evan, like, should I get in the water and shoot it? Evan's like, yeah, go get in the water, shoot that thing. So Evan starts chumming. He's keeping it around the boat. World record timing. I got my dive gear on. I slipped in the water. I'm looking at the chum. I glance over my left shoulder. I see a barracuda down deep. I glance over my right shoulder. The barracuda starts swimming up and I realize, oh my God, that's not a barracuda, that's the wahoo. I thought it was a barracuda at first. And I took my time. I moved so slow. I closed the gap, got really close to the fish. I had my big gun. I had the slip tip. I have the wahoo set up. And I pull the trigger, hit him good. He takes off. I take off swimming as fast as I could, pushing the gun towards him to put less pressure on him. The less the better. Evan pulls anchor. No, he doesn't pull anchor. Evan comes over to me. He jumps in the water. He brings another gun over. We put a second shot in the fish. We land the fish. We get back to the boat, and I lost my first gun. Somehow I knocked the shaft out as I got in the boat. The gun sank down to the bottom in well over 100 foot of water, and my gun was gone. I counted as a loss. I was so stoked on the fish. I told Evan, don't worry about it. Stop talking about it. Let's leave it alone. I'm so stoked on this fish. I don't want to dwell on the gun. It's just money. I can get a new gun. Last drop of the day, Evan's like, man, I'm tangled on something, man. I bet this is your gun. Sure enough, he pulls up my gun. And even though I was okay with not having it, getting that gun back made it that much better of an epic day. I mean, the ocean's big. We're on drift now. We're not even anchored on the same spot. We're just drifting. And we snagged my gun because it had about 150 feet of shooting line out. And we got back my gun. And that just capped off what was an already awesome day. Made it that much better to get my gun back and not lose it and get that Wahoo. So that's my year. That's my year in 11 clips. So I really, really appreciate you guys for watching the videos. Again, thank you very, very much. It has been an awesome year. Hopefully 2022 is even better. And until next time, stick around. We'll see you in the next video. Later.